My name is Carlo Luyckx. I'm the president of the Belgian Buddhist Union. So I'm going to talk to you today about Buddhism, very short, concentrated. Buddhism, Buddha has, as you know, lived about almost 2,600 years ago in India. Buddhism is not considered as a religion. Often people think Buddhism is like the fifth or the sixth world religion. Buddha is no god. Buddha is no prophet. He's not a son of God. He's not. Buddha is a human being like all of us. The only thing is Buddha has reached the essence of his mind. He has considered that he was born as a prince, and he was educated to become a king. But then he saw he was kind of protected from all the sufferings of the world, to think that everything is perfect, because they were afraid that he was going to become kind of wise men. As when he was born, they said that he was going to be either a great king or a very holy person. So his father decided to protect him from that, because he wanted him as a successor. So that's 2,600 years ago. Buddha, I will make the story very long story short. He renounced his succession on the throne. He left the palace and he went to meditate, and finally he realized the true nature of things. And so his teaching has been spread all over Asia. So the teaching of Buddha has spread all over Asia. It's a teaching which has come up to the present time in three great traditions, which they call the Theravada tradition, Mahayana tradition, and the Vajrayana tradition, which is also called Tibetan Buddhism. The Theravada is the basis of all forms of Buddhism. Is the essential teaching of Buddha, where he speaks about the impermanence of this phenomenal world. Everything which is born is going to die, especially life. Once one is born as a baby, the only certainty one has is that one day one will die, and there is no way out. So that's Buddha has explained this, that all phenomena are impermanent. So impermanence is a very important factor in Buddhism. Also, the second thing which is very important is suffering. Buddha has pointed out that all what we can attain in this life as happiness is impermanent, and is never complete happiness. So each living beings is looking out for happiness, and everything we do is to be happy. Even the greatest criminal, whatever misdeeds he commits, in his mind he wants to be happy. He wants to be rich. He wants to find happiness. And so Buddha pointed out that happiness cannot be found in this world. Happiness cannot be found outside of oneself. You cannot find happiness by richness. You can be immensely rich and at the same time be extremely unhappy, as we can see. Many rich people even commit suicide. But most human beings are working very hard to become rich because they think that's where we will find happiness. Happiness cannot be found in relations. Friends becomes enemies, so everything changes all the time. Cannot be found in possessions, cannot be found in positions. You can become a king, but when you're a king, it's not enough. You want to become an emperor. If you're an emperor, it's not enough. You want to become emperor of the universe. You will never be satisfied. So impossible to find satisfaction outside of oneself. So the teaching of Buddha points out that happiness can only be found within oneself by introspection. Everything is impermanent, and there's three big traditions, as I said. So in the Theravada tradition, the importance is mainly on discipline, and to avoid. It's mainly to do good deeds, to avoid bad deeds, to make other people suffer. So there's three sentences which can be like can explain the whole of Buddhism in a sense, essential. But the third factor is most important, is to become master of one's own mind. Because everything is in the mind. Whatever you do, whatever you say, it comes first in the mind. So to be master of one's mind. So the accent in the first form of Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, is avoid to do bad, do good deeds, but may especially have this discipline, develop this discipline of concentrating, meditating, so to calm the mind, to make the mind, you can compare with a glass of water with mud in it, which is completely opaque, you cannot see through it, not transparent. If you leave this glass for some time, the mud will sink down and the water will become clear. So it's the same for the mind. We have all these thoughts, emotions, anger, jealousy, and confusion, obstination, all these emotions and uncontrolled thoughts which are going on in the mind. So by this exercise of techniques of meditation, concentration, these emotions will calm down, and one start seeing clear, have more clear vision, and so purify your mind. So that's the main thing in the first form of Buddhism, which is common to all Buddhism, but it's mainly today exists today in the south, South Thailand, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, and so on, those countries. The second form of Buddhism is Mahayana. So it has the same basis. If you try to live in a good manner, not to do any harm to any other people, and you try to concentrate your mind, to calm your mind, but at some point one will realize that how can I be happy, how can I reach a state of enlightenment if I see that all people around me are suffering in their confusion, in the disturbing emotions. So how can I reach, how can I be satisfied and leave all these others behind? So that's the Mahayana, which can be translated like the great vehicle, great in the sense of an open mind, a big mind, where you think it's like transforming egoism, egoistic tendencies into altruistic tendencies, altruism, considering the happiness of others, all others, without any exception, more important than one's own happiness. And so that's the Mahayana. it is using, especially it gives the concentration on two factors. On one side is the compassion, empathy, compassion. So to compassion for all living beings without exceptions, without excepting anybody. And on the other hand, the wisdom in the sense of understanding the nature, the real nature of mind, which is compared to, when we talk about this is shunyata, which can be translated like emptiness. Emptiness without any border, without limits, but it's not nothingness. The emptiness is like a kind of fecund, it has clarity, it has lucidity, luminosity, so it's clear mind. In the Mahayana, Mahayana is a Buddhism, kind of Buddhism which has been developed in the universities of Nalanda, Vikramashila in the north of India until the 13th century. And then it has been exported, or you cannot really speak about in Buddhism about missionaries, because Buddha himself said, don't try to convert anybody, but Buddhism, the teaching of Buddhism is given only to those who are looking after it, who are requesting the teaching. And so Buddhism has spread from North India to the south for Theravada Buddhism, as I just mentioned, but also to the north, Nepal, Ladakh, Tibet, Mongolia, China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, and it has been preserved over 2,600 years. So the Mahayana Buddhism has also techniques, which can be used by anybody. Which the first is generosity, open mind. Generosity is not only to give one's money to beggars. It's also to listen to people, to have an open mind, to think first about others, then about oneself. Second is discipline, ethics. Not, as I said, not to make people suffer and to make people happy. It can be much more explained, analyzed, because it's the body, speech, and mind, the actions of body, speech, and mind. So the third is the patience. Patience is sometimes people think here in the West that patience is for people who are weak. You should not be patient, and active people are considered like better. But actually, patience is it's the mark of being very strong. It's like a mountain which you cannot move. So patience is also to see in every situation the richness of the situation, the positive side, the humoristic side even. Then the third is diligence, perseverance. When you start something, you go until the end. The fifth is concentration, meditation, which I just explained. And the sixth, which is most important, is wisdom. Wisdom is the understanding of the real nature of one's mind, which I said is emptiness, clarity, without any limits, beyond time, beyond space. So that's the Mahayana Buddhism. Then the third form of Buddhism is often called Tibetan Buddhism, because it's mainly in Tibet that it has been preserved over the centuries. It has been developed in the universities of Nalanda and Vikramashila in the north of India, but it has been lots of people came from China, but mainly also from Tibet, to study all the teachings, which is, as I said, I often say, the teachings of Buddha himself, who has been teaching after he reached enlightenment when he was 40. He has been teaching until 85, so 45 years. These teachings have been preserved in over 108 volumes, and also the commentaries on these teachings have been made by the Indians and Tibetans and Chinese over the years, which have 260 volumes over that. So Buddhism is in a sense a science of the mind, a science of how to purify the mind, how to develop the mind, more than to be a religion, but it has, of course, a spiritual aspect. So then, in the third form of Buddhism is Vajrayana, Tibetan Buddhism. It has the same basis as Theravada, not to do bad, to do good, and to master one's mind. The aspect of Mahayana is the compassion. Think first about the liberation of other people and then oneself. And then what is special in the Vajrayana Buddhism is that one is going to work with the 5 disturbing emotions, 5 families of disturbing emotions, which is anger, hatred, these emotions. Then the jealousy, envy, the pride, ego pride, narcissism, the egocentrism, then these cupidity, greed, and the 5th is the confusion, ignorance, stupidity, and these 5 mind poisons are going to be used to be transformed because their essence, in essence, they are the 5 wisdoms, different aspects of wisdom of the mind. So one is going to work on, because everybody, all beings have these different, they have greed, pride, anger, but in different proportions. Some people are very greedy, some people are very angry, some people are, and so on, very proud. So one is going to use the main mind poison to transform into wisdom, right? In the form of alchemical process. Like in alchemy, one transforms lead into gold. Here, one transforms jealousy in the corresponding wisdom, anger in the corresponding wisdom, and so on. So this is in the Tibetan Buddhism we use different techniques of meditation, but also rituals, mandalas. There's even the body, speech, and mind are being used. The mantras, reciting mantras, and the meditation on different mandalas, different forms, different deities, and so on. But which is all it's all relative. It's just techniques to transform our emotions into wisdom. So in Buddhism, there is a way to Buddhism to reiterate. We speak about Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Buddha is a principle of enlightenment, of Buddhahood. Dharma is the teaching of Buddha, but also the path one has to follow to reach this Buddhahood. And the Sangha is a community of people who have been before us, who are helping us to reach this enlightenment. So that's the main thing. Buddhism is very vast. When one says that Buddha has given 84,000 teachings, which corresponds to 84,000 mind poisons to be transformed by these teachings.